You're such a freaking asshole, Fred!
Yo, Valencia.
Hi, Minogame Movie Recap here. Today we will discuss a film that tells the story of a man named Max who has a very handsome face. But this handsome face even poses a danger to others because anyone who sees Max's face, then he will die. So, how does Max live his days? Let's just start the story.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah, well, my life is pretty dark.
You accidentally assault people with your face.
At the beginning of the scene, it is shown Max is consulting with a psychologist. He told the psychologist that when he was born, he had made his doctors and nurses die. When he was 2 years old, Max moved house to a remote area where the residents were also few. From a kid, he had to cover his handsome face with bandages. Until no teenager still have to be closed. The psychologist didn't believe Max, instead thinking that Max covered his face as a form of depression. He told Max to open his bandages. Max opened it and the psychologist died on the spot.
Oh my god.
Police said everyone who died of heart attack in the city, Max always there. Max has a best friend named Don. He looks playboy because he always talked about women. So upset with his own face, Max told Don to punch his face with bricks to be damaged. But Don doesn't care because he is looking for a girl on social media. Annoyed at being ignored, Max accidentally dropped his phone, and finally Max's nose was hit.
They're foreign, and they want to come here.
The next day, when he went to the hospital, he first met a girl who wanted to talk to him. After arriving at the house, Don came and invited Max to go on date with a girl named Erica.
Try not to describe yourself as being deformed, right?
Then Max met Erica, but their date was disturbed by Craig, who turned out also known Erica. Because he made a fuss, then Craig expelled and Erica also left Max.
I'm sorry.
Feeling hopeless about his circumstances, Max decides to commit suicide. But when he was about to do so, suddenly appeared the woman who had previously met in the hospital. Her name was Alex. After canceling his intention to commit suicide and getting acquainted, Max joins Alex to go to a nursing home, the most routine place in the same place as Alex. Alex feels happy if she is in nursing home because it can make her appreciate life more when among the elderly. There, Alex knew Esther and Rosemary. They were friendly elderly. Max and Alex come home almost at night. Then Max asks if Alex can meet again or not tomorrow. But unfortunately, Alex declines.
I can't.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No.
When Max was upset, Don suggested meeting Alex as if by accident. Tried his advice and sure enough, Max met Alex again at the bus stop.
Are you stalking me?
What? No. I'm.
So what are you doing here?
Finally, that day they started playing together again.
Yes.
Yes?
Start walking before I start saying no.
Okay.
Jelly beans are supposed to feel like jelly, not like gravel.
They again stuck in a bathtub full of jelly beans. Alex said that she really wanted to swim in the river, so they told each other. Max told her his facial problems, while Alex told me that she had a rare heart defect. Her heart will be bigger if you feel happy or sad too much. After that, they continued to watch in the cinema, but the reason was even Alex who delivered Max because Max was drunk.
Weird. Anytime an actor talks. Anytime.
In Max's room, it was the first time Alex opened Max's glass and could see his eyes. Suddenly, the mother and his father came with a student named Yusen.
This is Yu Shen. She's from the exchange program.
Yusen is the daughter of a rich Chinese national, but her personality is unique, so it looks strange. One day, Alex and Max hold camp. The night Max removes his bandages, but Alex closes his eyes. They kissed for the first time. When Max was at home again and playing games with Don and Hussein, Alex called Max said today she could not meet because she was told to clean with his mother. But suddenly there was an incident of a Christmas tree fire because Yusen threw cigarettes carelessly. Keep Don's hand soberly feet up the tree. Finally, Max accompanies Dawn to the hospital, where he meets Alex and her mother. Alex said Max was only a co-worker at the nursing home to his mother.
Okay, well, it was good to see you.
After that, Max and Alex meet. Alex says she was forced to tell to her mother because the result of the checkup she was again not good, so afraid to trigger her mother's anger. They went to the nursing home again, but it turned out Rosemary was lying weak in the bed, just relying on medical devices. Alex couldn't bear to keep asking Max to help Rosemary live happily. Max initially refuses, but eventually Max thinks it might be the best, after which he takes off his bandages and Rosemary lives with a happy smile. After the incident, Alex never answered a message from Max. Again upset, Dawn then asked Max to come to the spring fling event at his school. Dawn also told Max to invite Alex and Italy sent a message to Alex using Max's phone, but Alex only read it. Finally, Max comes to Alex's house. It turned out that Alex's illness is getting worse, until the dose of the drugs is also increased. But she wants to bring Max to the show. Finally, they come, but while dancing, suddenly Alex nosebleeds and Alex goes to the toilet. When Max waiting Alex comes back from the toilet, John and Valencia comes to Max. Craig also came and started blasting Max again and deliberately jamming Max's mask. Fitting Max again facing Valencia. Valencia, who saw his face immediately, died on the spot. When he wants to get in the police car, Max sees Alex being taken into the ambulance. Max meets Alex, who can now only lie on patient bed. Max also just found out that Alex had never taken his medication again lately. Max is angry with Alex that Alex asked Max for help with her date as he did to Rosemary. Max has since shied away from Alex.
And you're avoiding her? I don't know what's going on with you, but that's super shitty.
But John tells Max that he continues to avoid, even making Max lose the opportunity to say goodbye. Finally, Max comes again. He also decorates the walls of Alex's room just like the decoration in his room. But Alex has been looking very weak lately and she can only depend on living the same morphine. She really wants to die. But with a heavy heart, finally Max followed her request. But when Max removed his bandages, it turned out to have no effect on Alex. Maybe it's because Alex really loves Max, so it has no effect on Alex. And because it's so happy, Alex suddenly has a heart attack and finally we can see that Alex is died. Max threw an envelope into the river bearing Alex's name, which contained Jello in accordance with Alex's wishes first. Max equally Craig also finally found out guilty in the Valencia death case, because according to her doctor, her death was caused by serotonin poisoning. Max is also now trying to accept his condition again. He also benefits his face to help people who are already very sick and want to end his life. At the end of the film, John was also able to see Max's face without bandages. But when there was a guest Max forgot to wear his bandages, it turned out that the guest was a Craig and instantly Craig died at the door, even though he came to apologize to Max. So, the point is, only people who really love or love Max can see his face. And until the end of the film, the audience was not given to see Max's face.